All right, welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Safety Systems, home theater systems, security systems for your home or office, life safety systems, fire safety systems. They do it all. Safety Systems is their name. They've been around for 20 years, 20 plus years. Really good company. VFL JJ Surlis, you've seen him on this show. He is the man behind Safety Systems. Give them a call. They got a terrific team of guys too, and women. It's a great group. Safety Systems, and that's safetysystems.com. Be sure you spell it correctly when you go into the website. All right, this is our quick slant segment. Today, though, I'm going to give you one topic and let you do quick slants off one topic. And it's this. I mentioned it going into the break. Everyone celebrated the staff. It's supposed to be this great staff. You know, the joke was that Butch said he's going to have the best staff in America, and he brought in a bunch of guys from Central Michigan. Okay, so now you got a bunch of championship winners. And now, when things are kind of flatlining, it appears, in year 3, you've mowed through a number of these assistants. Another one went down last week, mid-season. There's only one guy, Will Friend, who's in the same spot he was in year 1. Mm-hmm. Now everyone's saying, well, this assistant has to go. Jim Chaney suddenly is an idiot. Chris Winke's got to go. Will Friend's got to go. My question is, we've seen these other guys be successful elsewhere, right? They're not successful now. So should all the heat really be going to the assistants at this point? And I'm not talking about calling for heads, but I do wonder, is this more on the head coach? Because Jim Chaney, I saw him at this school. He was a good offensive coordinator. There aren't many places Jim Chaney hasn't had success. He's not having it here. Helton didn't have it here. Could the issue be the guy running the whole thing? Am I off base on this?
I don't really think so. I think ultimately that responsibility falls on the head coach. But here's the thing that concerns me with all this turnover. Yeah, I know a couple of them went to the NFL. I get that. But basically, when you let these people go or fire them, you're admitting you made a mistake in hiring them in the first place. That's where I have a little bit of a problem. There's been too much turnover for this program this early, in my opinion. You need more continuity with your staff. And I think sometimes that lack of continuity may make it harder from maybe your offensive coordinator to work with this guy or this guy on defense to work with this other guy. I just think that all that turnover has been counterproductive for Tennessee.
Well, think about all the defensive moves they made this year. You made changes everywhere along that. You moved guys here, you moved guys there, you moved one guy out, brought a new guy in who you've already fired.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about the defense has not made any kind of improvements this year.
No.
So does A equal B? I think it has to be involved in there. Josh, your thoughts on, did all of these coaches suddenly get stupid, but Pruitt's still a genius? Or could it be that Pruitt's just still learning as a first-time coach how to manage people?
Yeah, especially on the offensive side. You're talking about a star-studded group of coaches. You have T. Martin come in. He's been an OC coaching wide receivers. You have Jay Graham come back to Tennessee. And when Jim Chaney was hired as the OC, wasn't the thought, okay, now that you have a guy who is more established in that position, let him essentially be the head coach of the offense. And I wonder what that relationship has been like at this point. So, yeah, it all comes back to Jeremy Pruitt. He's made the moves for guys to leave, for guys to come in, for guys to move around on the staff, and here we still are.
Will?
Yeah, it stops with the man that's getting paid the most. I mean, his name is on it. If it's successful, everybody's going to give him way too much credit. And so if it's bad, he should be getting a full helping of the bad, of why things are going wrong, because it does start with him. And, you know, this has become a different league. You need a great quarterback. They didn't go out and figure out how to get a transfer or someone else, you know, to fill in this gap and void. And so if you're saying you're handicapped because of that, you had things you could have done in the offseason to try to prevent that. I mean, you are where you are today, but that's because of decisions you made late last year, the year before. It's not because of what's happening today. It's not because of COVID. It's because there were other things you need to take care of and figure things out. And I agree. I think it hurts you in recruiting to be having all this ins and out of who's going to be the defensive line coach, offensive line coach, had moved the offensive line coach. But I just think a guy wants to be recruited, wants to know I'm going to have an assistant coach there as well who's going to be recruiting me.
Okay. Not a great day for the people who, you know, beat their chest and said we saved the program yesterday, because Pruitt and Tennessee still getting clobbered by Alabama. Meanwhile, and people ask me, are you going to mention this? Did you notice that Rutgers yesterday snapped their 21-game Big Ten losing streak, Big Ten game losing streak, in Greg Schiano's first game? Now, he's going to get killed up there because that's the Vanderbilt of the Big Ten. He will be destroyed and annihilated. But yesterday, not a great day for all those people who've been marching around saying, we saved the program. We ran off Shiano. We got Pruitt. I didn't hear much of that coming my way on Twitter yesterday. We'll see what happens going forward. When we come back, Tennessee versus Arkansas. This is a tough challenge for the Chucky Casino. They're having to set the line 2 weeks out, and we are going to have to bet on that line. We'll talk about a Tennessee-Arkansas preview next on the Sports Source. Come on back.